This is Sean here with Akceli, and today we're just going to look at some relationship builders and how they can generate your models for you rapidly. Right now I'm just setting up the project. Just ran Composer install, and now I'm going to install Akceli. I'm going to publish the Akceli assets. I'm going to go ahead and generate the images, the dogs and walks, alongside with the dogs walks pivot table. Next, let's go into the logs, playdates, and the dog playdate pivot table. Now that we have our migrations done, let's go ahead and open them up and add our relationships. For the images, we just need to add an imageable relationships, which is going to morph to anything that's imageable. And each of these imageable things can only have one image, so it's gonna has one image. The dogs, they're going to belong to the users. Each user can have one dog in this case. Doesn't make real world sense, but that's what we're going to go with. And sure, each walk can also only have one user. Each user can only go on one walk. Now we're setting up the pivot table for the user walks, but it actually should be dog walks. That's a typo. Let me fix that. Next, let's do the logs. So the logs are going to morph to loggable, and each of these loggable items can have many logs. Next would be playdates, but it doesn't really belong to anything, so we can go ahead and jump down to the dog playdates. The dog playdates is a pivot, so it's just going to be a pivot between the dogs and the playdates table. And of course we don't need these extra columns on the dog walks either. Now in the config file, we're saying that the model directory is going to be at the root of the app because we haven't refactored the base user. I'm migrating everything with an alias right now. Now I'm going to generate all of my models. Now let's go ahead and open them up and see what we have. Looking right here in the walk model, you can see we documented the relationships at the top, all the properties in the fields in the model, the cast, fillable. For each of these models, all the relationships are documented and filled out. And same for the user model. Now, the one set of relationships that are not generated by default are going to be the reverse half of the morph2 relationships, because you don't really know what the reverse model is. So you just go to the dogs, you implement the imageable interface, and you use the imageable trait. And now the dogs is going to be using the imageable relationship, and any other methods that you need to add to anything that's imageable, you have a nice place to insert that. Same thing for users. And we'll also go ahead and do the walks and the playdates to implement the loggable interface. And you can see this is doing the morph mini, and the images is the morph 1. And the last thing we have to do is finish up this playdate. And just like that, we have generated all these models with the relationships built out.